Yeah, it's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's Donkey of the Day today?
Well, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, September 28th, Mr. Ed Sheeran goes to a young brother named Rakim Stephen Tate. Is it Rakim or Rakim?
Rakim.
Oh, Rakim. Okay, I thought it was Rakim. He's 32 years old. I thought he was named after one of the greatest MCs to walk this planet, Rakim Allah. Drop on the clues bombs for Rakim Allah anyway. Peace to God. Now, we have all been in situations where we see someone yell out where they from, as if that's going to scare somebody. Because what folks don't understand is you from somewhere, I'm from somewhere, and nobody thinks the place they from is full of suckers, okay? Doesn't matter if you're from the slums of New Jersey or the cul-de-sacs of Arizona. Everybody thinks where they from is the toughest because all they thinking about in those moments when they trying to be tough is the people who they know from those areas, and they want to rep for them, okay? They don't want to be perceived as cowards to the people, you know, back where they from, even though those folks probably ain't even thinking about your ass, all right? But you got to represent. But trust me when I tell you, don't nobody care where you from, fam, okay? And Rakim learned that the hard way because he simply forgot where he was at. Let's go to the Law and Order Network for the report, please.
32-year-old Rakim Stephen Tate turned a bad decision into a worse decision when he entered the store armed. Security footage shows Tate walking inside carrying a gun under his right arm. He walks around the store before speaking with someone who is off camera.
I don't mean no harm. I'm just not from around here. Well, you got any member? I got a big gun. But I'm not from around here is what I'm saying. I'm from Chicago, bro.
Escambia County officials say the clerk noticed Tate was armed before he entered the store and ran to the back room to arm himself with his personal weapon.
I see you. What's that?
After leaving the store, Tate was charged with openly carrying a prohibited weapon and attempted robbery with a firearm.
God did was playing in the background of the store. And Rakim, you need to thank God for it all, okay? Because God did get your ass out of that store without you getting your head blown off, okay? What does your Uncle Shala always tell you about the great state of Florida? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Rakim, Florida is the epitome of you got guns, we got guns too. Okay, compliments to the chef, Raekwon, that is, because if you think for 1 second that you can just walk into an establishment in Florida screaming you from Chicago and you're going to scare somebody because you got a shotgun, nigga, please. Okay, my favorite part of this story is that Rakim Tate had this shotgun and he is heard on the audio asking the employee what kind of gun is he holding. The employee responds, and I can't hear what he said, but whatever it was, made Rakim moonwalk his ass out of that store, okay? That means that employee must have had something Donald Trump would call bigly. Because homie from Chicago thought he had a big-ass gun. He said it until he heard what the employee said he had. Keep in mind, it's Florida. In Florida, an AR-15 is easier to buy than a handgun. I repeat, in Florida, an AR-15 is easier to buy than a handgun. So I can't prove this, but I bet that's what the store owner was holding because that young man from Chicago realized in that moment, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Okay, the store owner had to have an AR-15, an M16, maybe an AK-47, whatever it was, made Rakim stop and say, what you holding back there? And after getting the answer and assessing the situation, Rakim translated whatever that store owner said to what Rakim Allah said. I ain't no joke. Okay, this is a very teachable moment, and I'll tell you why. Simply because Rakim is still alive. He could be dead right now, okay? But God did! Because he could have just raised that shotgun up to threaten the store owner or to shoot the store owner. And there's no doubt that store owner would have vanquished Rakim to the depths of hell within seconds of him cocking that shotgun. Okay? But Rakim didn't do that. He asked the owner what he was holding. And when the owner told him, Rakim told himself he needs to retreat. So even though he's in jail, he's alive. So he has the opportunity to do better moving forward with his life. But it reminds me of this quote. It's not what you say to everyone else that determines your life. It's what you whisper to yourself that has the greatest power. I said, it's not what you say to everyone else that determines your life. It's what you whisper to yourself that has the greatest power. This is proof. Rakim walked in and said, I'm from Chicago. Store owner didn't care. But when the store owner told you what he had, Rakim whispered to himself, let me get my stupid ass up out of here before I die. Now, Rakeem has been arrested and charged with openly carrying a prohibited weapon and attempted robbery with a firearm. And when police arrested him, they told him, and I quote, "You're not in Chicago anymore. You're under arrest." Please give Rakeem Stephen Tate the biggest hee-haw. Matter of fact, let Remy Ma give Rakeem the biggest hee-haw, please.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Yeah.
All right.
You need to hear that this morning, Rakeem.
Well, thank you for that
Remy.
donkey of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, up next is Ask Ye, 800-585-1051. If you need advice, relationship advice, or any type of advice, phone lines are wide open. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.